everyone, I'm Melanie Raye. Today I wanted to do a book review for you on one of my favourite books ever, Redeeming Love. Now, this is one of my favourite books of all time, and I'm so thankful to my brother Nathan for buying me my own copy for Christmas. I've read this book like 3 times now, and I wanted to share a book review with you guys to encourage you to read it for yourself. So basically, the story starts with a little girl named Sarah. And Sarah was born out of wedlock, and the father wants nothing to do with her. When Sarah is 8 years old, her mother dies, and she is placed in the guardianship of her uncle. However, instead of caring for Sarah, the uncle sells her into prostitution. Her uncle is then killed because he finds out too much about what he has done. 10 years pass. Sarah is given a new name for the sex trade, Angel. Angel is abused, hurt, broken, but she tries to put up a really strong front and build walls around her heart so that nothing can touch her. One day, Angel, Sarah, is walking down the street when a man called Michael Hosea spots her. And Michael is a Christian, and God tells Michael, "Michael, you see that girl over there?" referring to Angel. "She's the one I want you to marry." And Michael says, "What? God, what do you mean? Like, I'm a Christian and she's a prostitute." And God just basically says, "Trust me." And so Michael pays what he needs to pay and goes in to see Angel, but instead of sleeping with her, he tries to build a relationship with her. And it takes many weeks of him trying to break down Angel's walls. And finally one night, Michael is about to give up on rescuing Angel because he feels like he hasn't gotten through to her, when God tells him to go back. And it just so happens that at that very moment, Angel is being beaten up by one of the pimps, and Michael proposes to her while she's barely conscious and marries her and rescues her and takes her back to his home in the woods, where he takes care of her until she recovers and then tries to start teaching her a new way to live. Things like sewing, cooking, tending the fields. But he doesn't know her real name yet. So instead he gives her new names to apply to the attitudes that she's presenting. When she is being bitter, he calls her Mara. And when she is becoming the wife he wants her to be, he calls her Amanda, just because he believes it's a pretty name. But Angel, Sarah, is more afraid of this new unknown than she was of the horrible life she was living in the sex trade. So she actually runs away back into prostitution. And Michael pursues her and goes and finds her and rescues her again, and they make some new friends and that end up living across the farm from them, at the next farm over. And for the first time in her life, Angel has real friends, but she doesn't know how to trust them and how to love them because she's never experienced it before, and she starts to feel very guilty, and so she runs away again, and Michael goes and rescues her again. And the next time that Angel starts thinking about running away, it's because she feels very ashamed that she knows that she can't have babies, because when she had an abortion when she was 14, there was damage done to her female organs, and so she feels like she should give Michael a chance to have a child, which he really wants, by running away so that he will fall in love with someone else. And this time, Michael decides that he's actually not going to run after Angel, and that in fact he wants her to come back on her own. And it takes a few years. Angel actually does not go back into prostitution this time. Instead, she sets up a halfway house for girls coming out of the sex trade and helps teach them new ways to live. But she still feels like there's something missing, and that of course is her love for Michael is still there, and she actually does want him. And so she eventually does come back to Michael on her own, and there's this beautiful picture that she comes running through the cornfields to Michael, and she starts bearing her all before him, stripping her clothes off so that she's completely naked before him, and she says, "Sarah, my name is Sarah." And there's this beautiful moment where they embrace and they kiss, and it's a happily ever after thing. And this book is just so full of metaphors about love and God's love, and how love can conquer all, and how in order to love completely you need to be completely open and naked before the other person, and how true love will wait and true love will pursue. And this story, I think, just captures the heart of every woman, in that we all want to know that we need to be romanced, we want to be pursued, we want to be loved as we are, we want to feel like we're not being taken advantage of, but that we're actually wanted for who we are, and we want to play a part in a great adventure, like when Sarah is helping those girls in the halfway house. So I would encourage all of you to read this incredible book, Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. You won't regret it. Love you all. Have a great week. Bye.